What's up, guys? Welcome to the Two Banks of Five podcast. What a game. Liverpool 5, Everton 2. We'll start off with the other fixtures. A few bad picks this week. I thought Spurs were going to get it done. I thought Mourinho against Manchester United was a clear win. And United showed up today. I watched the majority of the first half. United looked good. I should have known it, but they always seem to pull it against the big teams. It seems like, I don't know if they're complacent against the lower teams or what, but Solskjaer seems to get it done in those big games. So hopefully they can get it done against Manchester City next week. Marcus Rashford, he can ping a ball, can't he? Absolutely brilliant. Could have had a few more. The first one, the one he scored, was probably the worst shot and should have been saved. It gets in the net. And then he scores a penalty, I think, in the second half. So Dele Alli scored a good goal. Again, that's his third goal in 2 games. He's on fire. In other places, Wolves got the win at home. They're all the way up to 5th, which is unbelievable considering how poorly they started the season. I picked a draw in that game, so yeah, I know. I picked a draw. Wolves vs West Ham. Pretty poor. The rest of the games, Leicester and Chelsea got wins. And then after that, Southampton got a win. It was very close. I watched the end of that game. So they're out of the relegation zone. Maybe even for the first time in 5 or 6 weeks, which is brilliant for them. But the main game I want to talk about is my boys, Liverpool-Everton. I woke up at 5 a.m. I forgot the team sheet was coming out at 5:15, and when I saw it, I was completely shocked. No Salah, no Bobby, no Henderson, no Oxlade-Chamberlain, no Keita. Obviously, Alisson was out. So that was a bit worrying. Divock Origi is a great finisher. That was his 5th goal in 4 derbies now, I'm pretty sure. So he loves it. He loves a derby and should be a shoo-in to start at Goodison later on in the year. So it was a pretty average start, I think. Not much to it, but just on the break there, Mane gets the ball. Great through ball. Origi just takes it to the left of the keeper. Easy finish. After that, though, I think Liverpool definitely took advantage of long ball football and a high line from Everton. Something I think Leicester last week could have taken more advantage of and did a few times. Straight over the top for the Origi goal. He brings it down well. Great finish. The Shaqiri goal was a great through ball again by Mane. That made it 2-0. And then obviously the Origi goal. The thing with Origi is he'll do that, but he does have a few off games. But today that was exceptional. That pull down and that finish. He did that in the pre-season. I can't remember against who, but he can bring the ball down well over his head. And a great finish. It was half chip, half strike. Everton pulled one back, obviously. I can't even remember the goal now. It was so long ago. I remember the Richarlison goal, off his shoulder, header, just before half-time. And obviously Mane got that goal on the break to make it 4-1. And then obviously Richarlison scored right at the end of the half. The second half, I think Liverpool put their foot on the ball more, kept it, weren't as rushing forward. And obviously Everton, every time the centre-backs would pick up the ball, would drop about 10 to 15 yards. Lovren and Van Dijk didn't have the chance to ping as many balls. As the game went on and Everton were looking for something, definitely they rode a higher line, and Mane should have had at least one more. The one where he was running up with Wijnaldum, when he put it just right of the post, I couldn't believe that. Mane usually tucks them in, but luckily we didn't need it. And then a bit later he tries to go around the keeper, probably takes one too many touches, could have probably had it on his left foot. But once again, it doesn't matter in the end. And when Moise Kean went through, you're thinking, oh, are we going to rude missed opportunities? They get 4-3 back in it. It starts to get nervy. But fortunately for us, he tucked it wide. And he's probably, he would have probably tucked that away if he had a bit more game time. So, and finally, Bobby Firmino, a bit of trickery, gets the ball back to Wijnaldum, who toe-pokes at him. 5-2, and the Everton fans head for the exits. Marco Silva has to be sacked. The fans are calling for it. I think to lose that convincingly to not even Liverpool's first team is quite worrisome for them. And Everton, a team who this season wanted to challenge for that top 6, yeah, it's not good enough. I think they would need to sign some players in the transfer window. I think they're lacking a good striker. Richarlison's not bad, but I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's not good enough to be a top 6 striker. So I think they, really need to have a look. But I think the standout man for me today, Mane did have 2 assists and a goal. Probably should have had a hat-trick. I think Divock and Shaqiri showed exactly, how much quality they have. A lot of fans, a lot of pundits say, Man City have the depth, Liverpool don't. Shaqiri and Divock aren't good enough. But today they were exceptional. He's so clinical in the big games. I mean, that's his second double at Anfield when he started. Obviously the last one against Barcelona. And Shaqiri, for a man who hasn't started this season, to play the way he did is exceptional. And what he really has is just a bag of tricks. And he can always pick that final ball. And I think we're going to need that at this point in the season. We're going to play against a lot of low box sides, and he's great at that, playing those balls. The good thing for me is he played well, Shaqiri, and I think that means that we can maybe rest Salah a bit, and he needs it. He's still struggling from that Chowdhury injury, definitely. And then the fact that Shaqiri played well, and even when we went to a 4-3-3, he showed a bit, means we can rest Salah. I think today we definitely started with the 4-2-3-1 system, which suits Shaqiri, because he likes to receive the ball deep and play with it. He's not the one to run in behind. Lallana was great today as well, playing in an attacking role. He always presses, he always is aggressive, and I think he cops too much flack for how good of a player he is. Milner and Ginny held down the midfield fairly well. Mane, of course, was exceptional in the first half. Lovren was fairly solid. Caught out, I think, on the Richarlison goal a bit in no man's land. But, footballers can't be perfect. The one thing, though, I would say is when Dominic Calvert-Lewin went down in the box in the first half, I do think that should have been looked at a bit more seriously. There's a bit of contact there from Van Dijk. I thought it was going to be a penalty, so I'm a bit surprised VAR didn't come in. But anyway, brilliant win. Back on top by 8 points. Bournemouth at the weekend. It's going to be an interesting weekend. The United City game, the Manchester derby, obviously. I'm not sure who Leicester have at the weekend. But I think if Leicester is still in it by December, then maybe we can, maybe we should start to take them a bit more seriously. Watford are not the best team. I think they're going to go down. I don't know how. I think they've got a great team, but great players, they haven't been good this season. Watford going down, and if Leicester can keep players, then maybe they're a bigger challenger than City. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon with this weekend's Premier League preview. Cheers, lads. Bye.